Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about how to switch industries. Before we jump into the content, please remember to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please remember to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. All right, switching industries. Let's talk about it. Chances are you may switch careers and industries multiple times throughout your entire professional history. It can be scary and it can push you outside of your comfort zone. However, switching industries can be very fulfilling and satisfying, especially if you're feeling burnt out in your current industry. So, how do you go about switching industries, especially if you don't have any direct work experience in that current industry? Well, really, there's 4 steps to this process. But before you begin any of those steps, you have to understand that this entire process will take time, especially the first couple of steps. The first step that you will have to do if you're considering switching industries is to list your specific transferable skills. I have a video all about transferable skills that I will link to in the description box below. However, when it comes to your transferable skills when you're switching industries, you will want to think about the different skills that you used in your last industry that also apply to this future industry. So what are things that you did really well in your last job or your last industry that will help you in this new one? These could be things like juggling multiple priorities at a time, or juggling multiple tasks at a time, working with or collaborating with various stakeholders, or diverse groups of people, prioritizing tasks and executing them with little or no errors, communicate effectively, provide quality and exceptional customer service, maybe in person and virtually or over the phone or via email. Those skills that I just listed are likely transferable skills that almost any industry will value and will look for in a candidate. So once you've been able to narrow down your list of specific transferable skills, then it's time to do some research on the different types of job titles that you would be applying to. So this is really figuring out what types of roles you will want to work in. Now there's a variety of ways that you can do this, but a lot of it is just going to be your own research into this industry. So let's say that you're in the healthcare industry and you're wanting to transfer to the tech industry. Well, right there you can narrow it down a little bit because there are definitely some organizations that exist in the tech industry that don't exist in any other industry. You can look up companies that you'd like to work for and do some searches on their career pages to see what roles they might have available. You can look through their job postings and see if your skills tend to match with the skills that that job will need to be successful. So while you are matching your skills to the jobs that might be available, it's also important to recognize that your skills do not need to match 100%. There are some skills that are essential for new employees to have, but there are also a lot of skills that can be taught during the orientation and training phase of every new job. So if your skills do not match 100%, that is okay. You will want to make sure that your skills do somewhat match, but you do not need to look for a perfect fit. Another resource that you could use is ONET. ONET is something that I have mentioned in many of my videos, and it is a great research tool. When it comes to ONET, you can do a skills search using their website. So what you'll do is from the main ONET page, you will go to advanced search and click on the focus word that is hyperlinked. From there, you will be able to click go to skills search, and then you'll be able to select the different types of skills that you have, and that will then pop out or generate a list of occupations that might fit your skills. Now, some of these skills that you've selected might bring jobs that are in industries that you're not interested in, and that's okay. You can just skim over those, skip them. You don't have to look into that. However, it could also open your eyes to industries that you may not have considered in the past. So ONET is a good resource in addition to some of the companies that you think you might want to work for. So once you've decided on some of those job titles or roles that you would like to start applying to, then it's time to start searching for those jobs to apply to. Now, it might already be jobs to apply to through the organizations that you've searched, or you might do a job title search through a platform like LinkedIn or Indeed, or even just a Google search. Search for the title of the role and then see what pops up. See what positions become available. You may need to narrow your search a little bit based on industry through some of those platforms like Indeed or LinkedIn so that you can say that it's in the specific industry that you'd like to work in, like tech or healthcare or something like that, you'll ultimately want to start searching for jobs. Now, you're not going to start applying for jobs yet, because now it's time to start tailoring your resume. When it comes to applying to any job, you will want to make sure that your resume is tailored specifically to that role. However, tailoring your resume when you're switching industries will take a little bit longer than it may for applying to a job in your current industry. So you will look at your resume and you will determine which roles are related to the job that you want to apply to. Then you're going to remove all of the stuff that is not relevant to the job that you want to apply to. This might be removing education, this might be removing skills, this might be removing experience. Whatever it might be, get it off your resume, narrow it down to just the information that is relevant to the position and the industry that you want to apply to. Ideally, your tailored resume will be 1 to 2 pages long. So you'll want to make sure that you use that valuable real estate strategically and intentionally. When it comes to tailoring your resume, make sure that you're using bullet points that use those keywords and phrases from the job postings that you found for the various roles that you would like to apply to. You will need to demonstrate using your transferable skills that you have the skills needed to be successful in this job. Once you have tailored your resume, then it's time to start applying to jobs. Using those organizations that you found in the past, start applying to some of those jobs. Using the search that you've done on Google, on LinkedIn, on Indeed, on other platforms like that, start applying to jobs. Use your tailored resume and remember to tailor your resume to each job that you decide to apply to, because some of the keywords and some of the roles and responsibilities might be slightly different. Once you've started applying to jobs, it's time to start networking with hiring managers and recruiters. Networking and applying to jobs might be simultaneous. Maybe your networking comes before you start applying to jobs. Maybe you apply to a couple of jobs and then you start networking. Regardless, both aspects are very important to the process of switching industries. When it comes to networking, this could be something like cold calling or cold emailing, where you just send a hiring manager or a recruiter an email or you call them on the phone. Maybe you attend some in-person meetings with a professional organization that they are a part of and you just happen to bump into them. Or you might be able to use platforms like LinkedIn to build a network and connect with people virtually before you start to connect with them more physically or over the phone or a Zoom call. If you are unsure about how to connect with someone on LinkedIn and how to even find someone to connect with on LinkedIn, I just released a video about how to find people to network with using LinkedIn. Please go ahead and check that out. I give a lot of good resources and tips on how you can narrow down your search to find someone who's going to be a good fit for you for building your network. But networking is essential to the hiring process. You might be sending your new tailored resume to hiring managers and recruiters, or you might be connecting with people who are current employees of organizations and are doing the jobs that you're interested in doing. Regardless, it is essential that you put some time and effort into the networking process. So ideally, after you've gone through these steps where you've narrowed down your transferable skills, you've narrowed down the different types of roles or single role that you want to apply to, you've updated your tailored resume, and you've started applying to jobs and networking with hiring managers and recruiters, ideally, that hard work will start to pay off quickly. You have to put effort into this. It is going to take time. If you put more effort into it at the beginning, you will likely have benefits that will show up quicker. So if you put more effort into it at the beginning, you may get a job within the first 3 weeks of job searching. If you don't put in the effort, you do it halfway or you're sloppy about it, your job search process will take a lot longer. So you'll want to make sure that you are putting the time, effort, and energy into this process, especially if you're switching industries, because you need to prove through your networking and through your resume that you have the skills necessary to be successful in this new industry where you don't have any previous experience. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, please throw them in the comments box below. I would love to answer any questions that you might have or any comments that come through. I look at each of the comments that come through and I respond to them individually. So if you do leave me a comment, I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life, work, balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.